What's up, Future Bullet here. Just a quick update. New FPS glitches where the more FPS you get means higher ping. Less FPS means better ping that has arisen. I haven't talked about it in the other video, but I just wanted to address it here. I'll post it there. Enjoy the rest of the video. Thank you guys. I appreciate you.
Bullet Club for life.
Woo. Doesn't that look very pretty? Season 1, January 6th, the trailer comes out, ladies and gentlemen, and the champs and next update and playable will happen on January 10th. With that being said, we need to talk about the bigger picture and the bigger issues with Marvel Rivals. While the game is a massive success, amassing over 20 million players in its first week and only continuing to get better with catching the eye of content creators and influencers and streamers and gamers alike on all surfaces and all platforms, it doesn't all have rainbows and butterflies and glitter and good and mighty. There are a lot of issues that we need to address and talk about, and many streamers and gamers and people that actually legitimately care, play, and it isn't just a flavor of the week for them, have spoken and are being pushed and getting destroyed by the casual market and the consensus of the content creator and the influencer who are bought and paid for, or who are whitelisted for the week that they play before they hop off, or that are getting boosted. All that being said, let's start with the nitty gritty. I am an alpha and a beta tester, and I have the skins, the tags, the back bling, whatever, not back bling, the background and stuff to prove it. That being said, when we were alpha testing and beta testing this game, and when we were working closely with the people in the Marvel Rivals Discord and the developers and everything else of the like, we let them know that there was a strange glitch and a Magneto glitch. The strange glitch and the Magneto glitch were partially fixed leading up to the already successful and mind-blowing launch of Marvel Rivals when it came out. The issue and the problem is some aspects of the Magneto glitch, where he was ulting, some of his shields, whether on an ally or himself, were causing crashes, other issues, and stuff of the like. The other main issue and problem with the game that still exists is the 2099 maps, the straight up payload, and the hybrid payload map are causing massive frame drops, lag, and issues. That certain chokeholds and bottlenecks within the maps are causing mass crashes and issues, especially when multiple characters are fighting, engaging, and ultimates are being used. These have been known problems and issues that we've had throughout the alpha, the beta, and launch. But overall, for the first week of the game's existence, it pretty much ran flawlessly without any problem or issue. Come into week 2 to present with 2 updates under their belts, technically 3 if we're counting the new one that just dropped with the Lunar New Year skins in Moon Knight and Squirrel Girl. There's been massive problems. Between the optimization issue, the now public, which we've talked about and known from week 1 as people who legitimately know and have teeth and skin in this game from its early development to its launch, the FPS drops and the FPS glitch where people with higher NPCs and more FPS are able to perform and do better and abuse certain aspects of the game compared to people on mid to low tier machines. Technically, Nvidia is saying they're pulling out their support of Marvel Rivals on their cards for DLSS, ray tracing, and basically shutting out certain cards from being able to optimize the game properly to prepare for the 50 series launch heading into CES this weekend and beyond, starting January 6th, and so on and so forth. And the NVIDIA app and the control panel having to not only patch, but walk back those patches for games like Marvel Rivals and newer releases, saying, yeah, our app, our game, everything else is broken, it's caused a problem, but we're not going to fix it. 20 series users and first gen 30 series users, you're just fucked, and we're completely phasing out the 10 series completely. Hey, I get it. Older components, older parts, problems. But based on Steam analytics and their reviews, Gen 2, Gen 1, and Gen 3 20 series cards are still the most popular, most used, and most played on. So you would think companies like Marvel Rivals and NetEase and Tencent and Nvidia would want to keep their main core functionality, core systems in place for them to work, but that's just not the case. Additionally, outside of that, the other big issue and the problem is there's been a known problem that UE5 has been terrible and hard to work with. In comparison, the way to put it is if you were around during the Unreal Engine 3 days and early UE 4 days on PS3 and Xbox 360, that was another problem. It was notoriously bad to work with netcode, multiple characters, multiple sprites, multiple art directions, and things of the like, and it did not get better until the end of Unreal Engine 4, going into Unreal Engine 5. So we're at that same point. But that being said, with all these issues and everything else, and people like Flats and all these other beautiful creators going out and explaining and talking about how these crashes and these issues and these bugs are a problem, it leaves you with the sour taste. But overall, you're willing to take the sour with the sweet of the new season, the new characters, the new modes, the new maps, and things that are coming with the January 10th update. That being said, the other side of the coin is you have the community basically eating itself alive. We've talked about how in the alphas, the betas, and in early, we knew that there was a possibility that bots were going to fill in lobbies because it was done in the alpha and the beta. Because 10, 20, 30,000 people max were part of this test, this beta, this alpha, and at certain times of the night and certain hours of the day, you had to fill the lobby with bots. We knew that was just a flip of the switch and something like that could happen. Well, from a competitive and a rank standpoint, the overall statistics and percentages are being tanked and destroyed, with many saying that there's a lot of hacking, cheating, and people that are boosted because of things like stacking, which is a violation of terms of service and of the overall EULA for the game to stack during certain hours and not expect things, or using exploits to try and avoid people, or statistically find, based on the INI files or the control files and other aspects of the game, to find the peak times with minimum resistance to ranked. It's caused a huge controversy where creators like Ottr, Jake Lucky, and other people have exposed and tried to talk about it. And Ottr, who is a European deadlock Overwatch and Marvel Rivals streamer, someone who I've had a few interactions with and who was a big supporter of me during my deadlock kick before they changed ranked and almost completely ruined that game for me. And then I moved over to Marvel Rivals, and I've had some interactions with Flats and other people who've talked about the situation and scenario in Overwatch and stuff when I competed there and stuff of that nature. You're seeing that this culture is starting to be developed. You have people like Tim the Tatman and other people being called out where they're being boosted and using these type of systems and errors by going for 12-hour streaming or everything else. So they're like not doing a traditional grind in the way of solo, duo, and everything else. So like they're abusing the statistics and the metrics where things like bots or unskilled players that are also boosted are getting exposed, and they're exploiting and damaging off of those people, thus ruining the Diamond, Grandmaster, Eternus, and All for One ranks, and overall devaluing and de-inflating the Gold, the Platinum, and the Diamond ring players who traditionally are that 20 to 10% before they jump into that 5 to 0.2% that you see with the Grandmasters, the Eternus, and the All for One players in the top 250. Traditionally, in a lot of games that have a strong core valued rank system, once you hit gold, that puts you in the top 20%, and that's something to be proud and valued of. And if you're able to climb out of that, you go into the 15, the 10, the 5, and the 2%. And at that point, that's where a lot of content creators and influencers abuse. And whereas a streamer and a gamer who solos, or the minimum duo queues, because it's been statistically proven through Steam, through the through the ESA, and through the ESRB, that most gamers and streamers and Let's Players traditionally only have 1 to 2 legitimate friends to play games with, which is why things like dynamic queue, role queue, and things of the like exist. Now, we're not specifically asking for a role queue anymore because once you get to Diamond and you have pick ban phase and everything else, it becomes an overall better experience. But for those Gold and Platinum players that are trying to get there, couple the FPS issues, couple the damage abuse issues, couple the ability issues because of all the over and underperformance of the game and other issues, the high-end favoritism, the whitelisting, and things of the like, it does not make and encourage people to want to create content and play around your game in a live atmosphere when you have boosted accounts like Tim the Tatman. Also spawning that controversy between Tim and Ninja, where Ninja's saying, I'm solo queuing for 8 to 9 hours. I ask, hey, let's duo so I can help you and you can help me, and we can keep it in a controlled environment, versus 5-6 stacking and having actual professionals or ex-pros carry you all the way to Eternus, Grandmaster, and above, completely diluting your audience, your behavior, and also putting the game in a bad light because you're not actually genuinely creating genuine gameplay, reaction, and emotion and quality between the game and yourself. With all this negativity going into Season 1, now more than ever in a game space, in a game atmosphere where retention is key, And that's mentioned in the article about bots, that they're putting so many bots in the game because they're trying to keep player retention and dopamine rates at an all-time high to ride the high and the lightning going into Season 1. Well, if you can't do that with all the word-of-mouth negativity going around about performance, optimization, crashes, censorship, which is a very small issue, but based on where the game was developed and given, we kind of give it a pass, and everything else going on about bad word of mouth, the boosting, the stacking, and everything else. Now, to end the video, I'm going to say stacking is something that's natural and does happen. But the way that this system and this infrastructure works with 20 million players and on average around 300,000 to 500,000 players in the US playing at one time during peak and non-peak hours, there should not be a way where 6 people should be able to abuse and get into people that maybe scratch diamond but are hard stuck plat as a team, or even as an individual are silver and hard stuck there silver as a solo queue, should be playing against other diamond, grandmaster, and eternus and all for one players. That's where the issue and the problem lies. Couple that with the fact that when Tim was playing solo at the game's release, he was hard stuck silver, barely got to gold. But once he started calling Laz, Nade Shot, and everybody else to play with him, that's when we really saw the climb. That is not fair, that is not good to the infrastructure, and you're producing a fake and false image into the game, into its likeness and everything else alike. But hey, those are my thoughts. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Bullet Club Gaming 91. I'm trying to hit 100 subscribers here on YouTube, and if you're catching me anywhere else, I appreciate you. Drop a follow there. We're trying to grow, become better, and start the new year right for 2025. And as always, Kenny, take us home.
Goodbye, mwah, and good night, bang.
I'll see you guys in the next video. Be safe, everybody.